The Mesopotamian civilization. Mesopotamia, modern Iraq, had an advanced civilization. It had developed around 4000 BCE. Mesopotamia means land between the rivers, and the rivers were the Tigris and the Euphrates. The span of this civilization is from about 4000 BCE to 600 BCE. The plains of Mesopotamia are dotted with mounds. Around 150 years back, archaeologists started digging up the mounds and unearthed the ruins of some ancient towns and cities and collected thousands of clay tablets with strange marking on them. Henry Rawlinson, a famous archaeologist, in the course of his excavations was able to decipher the inscriptions which helped in unveiling the secrets to this civilization. Mesopotamia had no natural barriers like seas, mountains or deserts, hence it was prone to attacks by various nomadic tribes. The result was different civilizations rose and fell in ancient Mesopotamia. Hence it is called the cradle and graveyard of civilizations. The chief being that of Sumeria, Babylonia and Assyria. The lower part of Mesopotamian valley was called Sumer region. People living here were called Sumerians. The regions to the northeast of Sumer were called Babylonia and Akkad. The highland in the north was called Assyria. The Mesopotamian way of life. City-states. In the Mesopotamian civilization, there were many city-states. They were independent, had their own legal code, were strongly defended as they were having continuous wars with their neighbors which led to their destruction in due course of time. The names of the cities that have been brought to light through excavations are Ur, Eraid, Lagash and Kish. Some of the powerful rulers of these city-states are Sargon I, Sargon II, Hammurabi and Sennacherib. These rulers founded vast and powerful empires. They enjoyed unlimited powers and led a luxurious life. They were absolute despots, but some of them like Hammurabi and Gude looked after the welfare of their subjects. They promoted agriculture by making canals and dikes and also constructed roads and bridges for the growth of trade and commerce. Religion. Religion dominated the Mesopotamian way of life. The priests were wealthy, powerful and were highly respected. They enjoyed a great influence on the ruling class. The Mesopotamians believed in many gods and goddesses. The chief among them were Enlil, Marduk, Asur, Ishtar, etc. In the Mesopotamian civilization, each city has its own special god as its patron. A temple or ziggurat was dedicated to the patron god. The temples were built beautifully with the help of colored tiles, marble slabs and burnt sticks. They were imposing structures built very high in a series of tiers. The temples served as centers of education, as observatories for the study of stars and planets, and as centers of trade and commerce. The Mesopotamian people believed in life after death. Many articles of daily use have been discovered from the graves. They thought that the dead would need these things in the life beyond.
Social classes. The society in Mesopotamia was divided into three classes. The upper class comprised of the ruling class, the noble and the priest. They led a luxurious life. The middle class consisted landlords, merchants, traders, craftsmen and artisans. The lower class consisted of slaves and the labor class. Slaves were not treated harshly and were given a variety of jobs which included ploughing, sewing and household duties.
Occupations and crafts. Being a river valley civilization, agriculture was the main occupation of the people. With the help of canals, dikes and dams, they could irrigate the fields well. They produced wheat, barley, pulses, vegetables and fruits. Another important occupation was domestication of animals. For their benefit, the Mesopotamians were familiar with cows, goats, oxen, sheep and asses. Metal workers like the blacksmiths and goldsmiths made progress in their crafts. Weaver and pottery makers were very skillful. The potter's wheel was in fact first used by the Mesopotamians. They were the earliest known traders. They were familiar with coins, weights and measures, and were the first to issue bills and receipts in business dealings. Trade and commerce. The Mesopotamians had a flourishing trade with other parts of the world. They imported timber, stone, gold, silver, and other metals. They exported food grains and manufactured goods mainly to the Mediterranean countries and Egypt. As trade helped in the prosperity of Mesopotamia, the state supervised the production of goods. Art and architecture. 1. Art of architecture, pottery and seals. The greatest contribution of this civilization is the introduction of arts, columns, domes and vaults in buildings, but art could not flourish much in Mesopotamia as there was paucity of materials like stone, some metals and wood, yet some rulers built beautiful temples which were dedicated to their city gods. In the field of sculpture, mainly hunting and war scenes have been depicted. These lifelike statues are full of rigor and action. Their pottery is however inferior to the Indus Valley people, but seals are an example of good craftsmanship of that period. 2. Art of writing. The Mesopotamians were the first to develop a system of writing known as cuneiform. The script was wedge-shaped, written from right to left with the help of reed or bone. They had developed around 350 signs. They wrote on tablets of clay, which they later dried in sun or baked. These tablets are a treasure house of information on this civilization as the script has been deciphered. Growth in knowledge. This civilization opened to the world the vast expanses of knowledge in the areas of literature, mathematics, astronomy, etc. The Mesopotamians had great interest in literature, as is revealed from the ruins of ancient city of Tello and Babylonian city of Nineveh, where big libraries containing thousands of tablets have been unearthed. Their vast literature included epics, hymns, stories and poems. They possessed great knowledge in mathematics. 60 was an important unit in their system of numerals. They were the first to divide an hour into 60 minutes and a minute into 60 seconds. They also divided a circle into 360 degrees. They were the first to develop algebra and geometry. It is they who coined the digits 1, 10, 100. In the field of astronomy, they gave definite names to different stars and planets. They could foretell the dates and timings of the eclipses. Each important city of Mesopotamia had its own observatory for the study of heavenly bodies, had developed a calendar with 12 months in a year, 30 days in a month, and 24 hours in a day. They divided days and nights into 12 hours each. The Mesopotamians perhaps stressed a lot on imparting good education, as is evident from the remains of the school which has been found in one of the sites. They stressed on the importance of good handwriting, as is clear from one of the inscriptions found on the wall of the school. It reads, "He who shall excel in tablet writing shall shine like the sun." Contribution of the Mesopotamian civilization. The Sumerians were the world's first traders. They knew the use of money and devised a system of weights and measures. They were the first to develop the art of writing. They introduced the construction of domes, columns and vaults in architecture. They were first to make an extensive use of wheel. They were first to give to the world a set of codified laws. Their knowledge in the field of mathematics and astronomy is praiseworthy.